Well, hey, howdy everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Hope all of you guys are truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. Welcome. As you can see, blue sky, sunny day, summer's day. Oh, don't look at the grass. I need to cut the grass. But yeah, here in South Africa. So what are we doing today? Well, you guys saw the thumbnail. 2 turbo Busas, 2 times the problems. What do I mean by that? Well, both those Busas you saw in the thumbnail, the one starts, but yeah, it doesn't run well. And the other one was supposed to just have a miss. That one doesn't even start. So yeah, how much money can you spend on turbo Busas and try to fix them? Well, we're gonna find out, eh? So yeah, stick around. Let's get going. All right, quick shout out to all the sponsors of the channel, all the members. Again, thank all you guys a hell of a lot. Helps the channel grow, it helps me a lot, it helps me build better bikes and better stuff for you to watch, and yeah, maybe send me to classes to act better or something like that. We also got a new member, Stefan van Niekerk. Yeah, welcome my man, and thanks to all you guys. So yeah, if you're not yet a member, think about becoming one. It helps a lot. All right, let's get to the action. All right there, everyone. We are back here on these 2 turbo Busas. Going to show you what we're going to be doing, but I've got a supervisor today.
Hello, Mensa. Love you.
My daughter is supervising what I'm doing today. So yeah, we're going to go through both the bikes, show you what's wrong with everyone, and yeah, then we'll start working from there. Yeah, so how nice would it be if you are able to afford to buy 2 turbo bikes at one time? That's a nice world, nice to live in it. Well, the owner of these 2 bikes bought them both a couple of months out of each other, but both has got some serious problems. Now, I'm not here to dish anyone or talk bad about people, but yeah, there are some guys out there that are very bad. So yeah, let's start with this one. This used to be my old bike. It was red at that time. About 6 years ago I sold it. There was a video where they were standing, here on the grass, all 4 turbo Busas. So yeah, this was his latest purchase. I'll quickly tell you what's wrong with it, or what's not right with it, and then we'll head to that one. We'll be fixing both probably at the same time, but let's quickly go through it. He bought this one. The guy told him it's just missing. It's not even starting. Don't know what's wrong. Computer maybe. We don't know. It's not starting. It's bad. Problem, you see this little catch yourself something. Yeah, things they added. We're gonna have to replace that. Shock seals are leaking. Yeah, probably because it was standing for a long time. But apart from not starting and that and the shock seals, that's pretty much what's wrong with this bike. Other than that, it should be good if we can sort that out for not $1 million. Now heading over to this one. This one starts and can drive. I didn't drive it yet. Normally I would like to start the video, show you what it does top end, and after we fiddle with it, do it again. But at this moment, you buy a turbo bike, you want the premium class and you want something to be very good, and this one is not good at all. problems. Yeah, let's start from the back. The back wheel is in, but yeah, I'll show you guys. Let's quickly go through it. Check, this nut isn't centralized because the shaft is loose on the inside. You can't even get a socket over it now. I need to hit it to make it more centralized to get the shaft out. If I show you from the top, you check this side extent is like this, and this side is like this. Look here, there's the blocks you used to adjust it there, you used as a spacer in there with another spacer. Half of this is grind away. You can see the seal is about to fall out. I don't know what happened there. Other problems, as I say, you buy a bike like this, you expect it to be premium bike. The backlight's about to fall out. This foot peg, if I go like this, yeah, there's some sort of spacers on it. Don't know why. We'll have to take that out. Coming closer to the front, take that out. The ignition is loose. It turns very badly. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll still have to look. And the handlebars bent. There's issues everywhere. Look at this boost pipe. I don't know why it should come out the fairing so much. So yeah, this bike has got some serious issues we need to address before I can even, as I say, it starts and it can drive. It's got a miss, but serious issues we need to address before we can even think about driving it anyway. So the back, we're gonna have to take the wheel out and figure out what's going on back there. The foot pegs and stuff is minor. The ignition needs to be fixed. Yeah, as I say, what we'll probably do is take everything off and see what's going on, because it's got an oil leak or a couple of oil leaks, loose stuff in the fairing. So yeah, we'll be addressing that. And that boost pipe on the other side I was just complaining about. This bike also got a turbo. If you can't see, but the boost pipe's going there, it's going in exactly the same way as that one, but it doesn't stick out like 2 miles from the fairing. So yeah, that's enough of me talking about the problems on the bikes. So yeah, let's start fixing them, stripping them, and getting to see what's going on, so that the owner of these 2 bikes can at least say at the end of the day he's got 2 turbo Busas he can enjoy. Because at the moment he's got a dead one and one that will kill you. So yeah, let's fix that quickly. All right, let's get going. Okay, time to get down to the nitty gritty. So if we want to test drive this bike, I want to show you how it sounds, but it's missing. So yeah, we need to just look at this. Look how beautiful this wheel turns. Well, we need to get this wheel out to fix the spacing problems, and if you check the line, it goes like same on that side, and get those spacers out and that broken up. So I did use the persuader to persuade the bolt or nut to move into the center pretty easily, because it's moving around in there like crazy. But unfortunately, I don't know how they tightened it, because the socket, probably they machined the socket down to fit in there. Well, I'm not gonna bugger up my socket, because I know this is definitely not the right shaft, or something is very wonky in here. So yeah, I'm gonna use a bit of persuasion to get that nut off. Yeah, wish me luck. Just like that, I persuaded the wheel to come out. That nut, what I used was a punch. I hit it there on the corners. It wasn't really very tight. So probably they painted it after they installed it. But yeah, it wasn't very tight. But yeah, problem number one. I don't know if you can see, but that hole, yeah, it's not supposed to look like that or even that. And yeah, the spacing is a bugger up. Again, I don't know. What I'll do is I'll take it off. I'm definitely gonna take it off. I'm not gonna leave it like this. These extents are now definitely part of a scrap aluminium pile. They will not be working on a Busa. Alright, so we'll put fresh extents in and yeah, make it look the way it should look. Alright, hold on. Good news, everyone. So, in the process of trying to get these extents off, I don't know if you can see in there, but all the holes are stripped. And while trying to loosen this side, I found this little Easter egg. Just look. Yeah, lekker. Okay, so let me get the drill and let's bore, or let's get those heads off my soul. Okay, I quickly want to show you what a battle looks like. You see it is shavings everywhere. We are down to the last bolt. We used all of those. It's the only way, because it's stainless steel bolts. As I say, down to the last one. There she goes. Hallelujah. Alright, and if you ever install extents, yeah, there it is. You see this little plate, you should take it off. But yeah, let's just move that a bit. Okay, so as you can see, it wasn't the fit, so they, yeah. And then look at this. I want to cry. Alright, you want to know what the real McCoy looks like? Oh, my soul. Just hold on. Let me go fetch a set. Oh, yeah. Hayabusa. Not machined, moisterified or anything. These are longer. Yeah, let's see how it looks. So, while we decide if that's going to be the extents that goes into the bike, or are we going to go shorter, we're still deciding on that, because we need to change the chain if we want to go to this length. It actually looks kind of good, but we can go shorter to accommodate the chain and everything. But yeah, to stop this video from being 6 hours long, because we still need to get to the blue bike and show you what's going on there. We won't be done in this video, but yeah, we'll get a better look at everything. I think it's a good time to lift the tank, pull the fairings off, see what we are working with. So yeah, I think let's do that. I don't know if I've got any juice left, but let's try. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, just like that. Like something out of a horror movie. I don't wanna, this is one of those, it looks best the further away you are. But, alright. Have a good look, because after I'm done here, it will not look the same. I can almost guarantee you. I love this oil lines over the exhaust. Very nice. Very, very nice. What's this? Also over the exhaust. Also very nice. Let's see, where does this go? Oh, the lambda sensor. Probably that's why it's not working. Yeah, we're gonna be implementing some changes. Yeah, sorry for the owner, but yeah, most of this stuff is gonna disappear. Okay, so yeah, you saw that. Don't know if I'm gonna continue here. Let's get that blue bike. Let's see where we are on time and see what we can get going or get done. All right, enough of me yapping. Let's get going. All right, I should have went over to the blue bike, but as you can see, I already started with doing some of the weight reduction and removing some of the unnecessary stuff. I removed the tailpiece also to show some of the gorgeous handiwork. And on this side, so essentially what's gonna happen, holy crap, this whole, don't know if you can call it a boost pipe, it's gonna get removed. Don't know what's going on here. Yeah, we'll remove that and put a decent pipe in, and yeah, we'll work from there. But as of now, I think it's really time we go to the blue bike, see what's needed to get done there, and as soon as we know what's going on this side, we will return here. But I think we'll end the video by stripping the blue bike. Okay, so let me really stop here and go there. Alright, so guess what? I never realized, or I realized yesterday while I was busy checking the video, that I never even showed you guys that these bikes start. Well, this one starts, the blue one doesn't start. So while I'm stripping all of the extra unwanted groceries off, I can quickly show you guys and girls and everyone watching. Yeah, very nice 3-cylinder Hayabusa. So yeah, this one at least can start and can sort of rev up. I will show you what the blue one does momentarily. Okay, now for this lovely, beautiful blue one. I don't know if I mentioned it, it used to be mine, but it didn't look like this, it was just red. So yeah, to show you what is going on with this one. Yeah, okay, hold on. And that is the only thing she does. She doesn't start, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't run. Yeah. Apparently it just had a misfire. Oh, well, that's what the guy that sold it to this guy said, but yeah, apparently not. So yeah, let's strip her down and see what's going on. Right, so first things first, we took the seat off, lifted the tank. We drained the fuel from the tank, only because we suspect the fuel is also not good. This bike has been standing with this problem for a long time, or a couple of months, so gonna definitely put fresh fuel in, prime the whole system. But first things first, we need to take the intercooler off to get to the plugs to see how the plugs look, because they sound pretty dead. So yeah, it's not easy. You have to release this. There's both sides, one of these, take the temperature sensor off, and then unbolt or loosen the boost pipe. Then it's pretty easy to come off, so let's do that. Okay, so once you've got that intercooler out of the way, you can unplug the coil packs and just take them out. And the only reason we do the spark plugs first is you can put different fuel in and you can try 100 different things, but if your plugs are dead, your plugs are dead. So take the plugs out first and have a look at, see what you see on the plugs, read the plugs, and yeah, work from there. You can see it backfired pretty badly on this one. Well, actually on all of them. Alright, but let's check those plugs. Okay, plugs is out. I'll show you, I don't know, you can see there. They are wetter as, yeah, they are all dead because they are so wet of fuel. Don't know what's going on. We'll install freshies and see what it does. Okay, so I just installed a fresh set of plugs, put everything back together. So if she starts, I want to show you that, and then we'll check how long we can get it to run, and if she starts up again after that, because she's overfueling. But yeah, let's see. Oh my soul. Alright, hold on, I'll show you now. Okay, test heat number 20. Battery. Nope, no cigar. Okay, so you saw she's at least running or starting and idly, let's call that idling. She's not really missing, she's getting better, if I can say it like that. I adjusted the fuel pressure and I did a couple of things I didn't show you guys on camera. As you can see, the wires hanging out. I checked the cam sensor and I also checked the crank position sensor. There was a couple of issues. So at least she starts now, but I'm pretty sure the injectors are beyond, let's not say dirty, but they don't flow the way they should. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have those cleaned. It's got new plugs in at the moment, and yeah, we're gonna have to dyno tune this one. But this one is well, a million times better than this one at the moment. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. She's cold at the moment. Nowhere I can touch. Maybe I can switch it on. Heat gauge, you see it's cold. So yeah, she definitely sounds better. She's got fresh fuel, and as I say, I did a couple of things. So she's close enough to say we can take her to the dyno and she would be done. So yeah, I think by the next video, I don't know if I'm going to take both bikes one time to the dyno, or I'm going to take this one and then later on the other one. I'm not sure. We're first going to have to figure out exactly what's going on with this one. You heard it's running like a 3-cylinder Triumph motor or 3-cylinder crossplate R1 something bearing knock. So yeah, we'll figure it out. And yeah, who knows, maybe we'll do them together, maybe we'll do them apart. I'm not sure at this moment, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you watched till this end, I'll comment there. Yeah, put a comment down below. Started with turbo problems. Then at least I know you watched all the way till the end. And yeah, like, comment, share. I like all that stuff and it helps a lot. May the Lord bless all of you more than all of us in any case deserves. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Check out for the next one on these two bikes. Let's get them sorted and get them some likes and stuff. All right, you guys. So have a lovely week and see you in the next one.